You know how many homebrew enthusiasts and party hosts get stuck at the crossroads of I want fresh draft beer at home, but I don't want to throw a few $1,000s at a fancy commercial unit that sits half empty most of the year. That hesitation is real. There's the fear of buying a kegerator that looks good on paper but ends up being a storage closet for one keg, or a fridge that can't keep the beer cold enough for a weekend blowout. If you're watching the clock on your next gathering and wondering whether this model will actually deliver the cold, clean pour you need without turning your kitchen into a secondhand ice block, keep listening. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the layout. This Kegco is designed as a front venting unit, which means you can either bolt it into a cabinet or let it stand on its own. The front vent means the heat exchanger lives on the front panel, so you don't have to worry about the back of your fridge overheating a tight kitchen wall. In a real house where the kitchen is already cramped, that can be a lifesaver. It lets you slot the unit under a counter or in a pantry without rearranging the whole room. The internal dimensions are generous, a stainless steel chamber that measures about 34 inches tall and 24 inches wide, giving you room for a standard half-barrel keg plus a few extra bottles or snacks. The left hinge door swings outward, which is something you'll notice when you're pulling a tray of glasses out. It opens wide enough to let your hand reach the taps without fumbling. Now, who actually benefits from this setup? If you're a small to medium host who runs regular weekend barbecues, a couple of birthday parties a year, or you simply love having a draft beer on tap while you stream a game, the 2-tap configuration is a clear win. The exclusive 2-tap premium deck draw kit that comes with the unit eliminates the need for a separate tower. Each faucet gets its own dedicated line, so you can serve a pale ale from one tap and a stout from the other without cross-contamination. That's a real advantage if you like variety and you don't want to clean a single faucet between different styles. On the other side of the fence, if you only ever tap one keg at a time, the second tap is mostly unused, and you're paying for a feature you'll never touch. Cooling power is where you'll start to feel the difference. The unit packs a 200 BTU compressor, which Kegco claims is the most powerful in its class. In practice, that translates to getting your beer down to the sweet spot around 38 F within an hour of turning the unit on, even if the ambient kitchen temperature is hovering near 80 F. For a real-world weekend party, you can set it the night before, and by the time guests arrive, the beer is perfectly chilled. The digital temperature display makes those adjustments straightforward. You tap the toggle, see the exact number, and you can fine-tune it by half-degree increments. That level of precision helps when you're dealing with styles that suffer from warm beer taste, like certain lagers that reveal off flavors if they sit above 38 F. However, the price point and rating tell us there's a caveat. With an average rating of 2.6 out of 5 from 137 reviewers, something is causing disappointment for a portion of owners. While we don't have the specific complaints handy, the rating suggests a mix of issues that typically surface with mid-tier kegerators: inconsistent temperature control, occasional compressor noise, or perhaps a less-than-solid seal around the door that lets warm air sneak in. If you're particularly sensitive to refrigerator humming in an open-plan living area, that noise could be a deal-breaker. Also, the front vent design, while great for tight spaces, can draw warm air from the kitchen into the unit's evaporator coil, potentially making the compressor work harder during hot summer months, which might affect both electricity usage and how quickly it reaches target temperature. Another hidden trade-off is the water line requirement. The deck draw system draws beer straight from the keg to the tap, but it also needs a CO tank and proper line pressure. If you're new to draft setups, you'll have to source a regulator and learn how to install the gas line correctly. For seasoned homebrewers, that's second nature. For a casual entertainer who just wants a plug-and-play solution, you might find the initial setup a bit technical. The good news is that Kegco includes the 2-tap kit, but the CO components aren't bundled, so you'll need to budget extra for the tank and regulator. Let's look at a day-in-the-life scenario. Imagine a Saturday afternoon barbecue. You've got a half-barrel of a crisp Pilsner on tap and a cask-aged amber ale in the second faucet. The unit has been cooling since early morning, keeping the Pilsner at 38 F, while the amber sits at 40 F, just a hair warmer, which is fine for that style. Guests pull a glass, the tap actuates with a smooth, steady